I was like, time crunch. All right, we'll make this.
All right. Okay. Would somebody like to offer the prayer?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for today. We thank you for letting us be able to make it till Thursday of the week and keeping us safe. We thank you for letting us be able to come together and meet and help us have a great session and for us all to understand from one another and learn. Amen.
Amen.
All right. Awesome. Thank you. What did you guys think of this case study?
That was a long case.
Super
It was
long.
so long. I didn't actually do it
Forever.
until Tuesday night, and I read it. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to have enough time to type it up.
It was a long one, wasn't it? Holy cow.
I'm not gonna lie, like I was really sick and I tried to read it and I kept reading the same paragraph over and over. And then like I threw up and I was like, I'm not doing this. So I actually didn't read it. Oh no.
Is this a normal length for I don't the other ones have been so short.
I really hope it's not a normal length because I don't have time to actually read 18 pages, if not more, of a case studies.
I don't think this is not a normal length.
Okay.
So just saying, I kind of skimmed towards the end, and I went with Raina. So
that's funny. So did I.
Good.
I didn't skim though. So I'll just do a brief synopsis real quick, and then we'll get to the questions. Is that all right? Or do you guys have anything to add?
Sounds great.
Sounds great.
Okay. So in this story, we've got a star analyst, Peter, who decides he's going to quit and he's going to go get another job. And Stephen Connor is the boss, and he needs to fill the position. Stephen decides that he's going to go and hire a headhunter. So he hires Craig. And Craig tells him that the market is actually really, really strong right now. And so there's not very many candidates out there. Stephen is looking for a star performer, and that is based on II, Institutional Investor Magazine. It ranks these people, and so he wants to hire a star for this new position. Now, there is more of a culture in the company of going through a mentoring process and achieving senior status by being a junior and then working your way up through the mentoring program. So Craig finds some recruits. He finds Gerald Baum, David Hughes, who are both star performers. David is a veteran. He's fairly old, but he's consistent at the top. Gerald is a newcomer to the semiconductor end of this investing side. So he has been kind of mediocre, recently switched to semiconductors, and in 18 months has risen up and is doing rather well. And then he found some second tier or some junior firm what they call trading. And Sonia Mika is the only one that he can study. So there's a couple that Craig gave to Stephen, but Stephen's not interested in them. He is interested in Sonia. Sonia's done really good with what she has to work. Meanwhile, a different headhunter calls Stephen with a guy by the name of Stephen Borkham. And Seth Borkham. He will rank as runner-up in our institutional investor and is maybe an up-and-comer. And so there's different things at play here. The case wants us to consider the strengths, personality, and interests of the candidates while keeping in mind the needs, industry, profession, and culture of the company. The company's name is RSH Research Development, and that's Urban, Stern, and Hertz. So Reuben Stern and Hertz is an investment firm that is well known. All of the candidates are interested or have showed interest in working with them because they are well known in the industry. Some of them like them for the atmosphere and culture that RSH provides, and some of them, like Gerald, more interested in working for a bigger firm and making more money. So I don't know. I think I'll leave some of the candidates to our discussion. If you guys want to add anything. That good?
No, I'm good. Yeah.
All right, so we'll dive into the questions then. Let's talk about the candidate. What are your guys' thoughts on Gerald?
Okay. Let me see. Gerald was the first person he an interview, no? I think so.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Well, something that I don't like of him was that he arrived late to the meeting. Yeah, that's the first mistake I think that you could made in an interview. No, you need to be just in time. Then maybe, yeah, I think he don't is so interested in the position. No, and that could be the message he is going to deliver to the Stephen. Sorry, no.
Yes.
I for me is in that case is that also. Let me see. I put here my notes. Okay. There you go. And he also the question that he made was about how much money I'm going to earn, I will earn, directly. I think that also that is a bad question in an interview, because it's the first interview. Then you need to pass some filters, And when you are going to the last interview of the process, maybe you can talk about about your salary or how you are setting that things, no? Yeah.
I agree. Good. So he showed up late, and his primary interest was in money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What else? Chase, do you have anything to add?
I don't know. I'm gonna pull a Hillary here. I kind of feel like
the Hillary thing. Just saying.
I kind of feel like it's important to know what the compensation is when you're in an interview. At least for me, not all the interviews that I've been in, it's been one of the main topics is if it's fair or not, or if they're willing to haggle back and forth or what. So I don't know. I feel like it's important to bring it up in an interview, but I feel like he brought it up too strong. Like it was more of a, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but like he was, like it was his only concern. Like as long as he got paid a certain dollar amount, then he was good. That was all that mattered to him.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna pull a Hillary. I can see what Chase means by like that was his main focus, but it's also like you're right, like it's super important for it to be brought up. But I think the person hiring you should be the one to bring it up. I don't think you should bring it up. I think the person hiring you should bring it up, and then you can be like, well, you know what? This is how much so-and-so is getting paid in the same field doing exactly what I'm doing. And, you can say he has more experience or he has less experience. Can we work up to this, or I need to start at this because that's fair and you're lowballing me.
Yeah, that's good. I like it.
Okay. So, anything else on Gerald? Okay. I'm just going to add a couple of things. He fired a junior analyst right in the middle of a meeting.
That's right.
He's kind of a prick. He wanted to know if he's going to be able to hire his own people. So we don't know that he would work very good with the staff that they have on hand. And later on, when they bring him back for the second interview, he can't convince any junior analyst to come with him or clerk because they weren't interested in making the move with him.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. And then Spencer, if you want to add anything, let me know. Okay. Okay. All right. So we're going to go on to David. He was the older analyst. He's been around forever. He is known in the industry. So what are some of the pros and cons of David? Wait. I only heard cons on Gerald. Are there any pros?
No.
I don't have any pros for him either, except for he was a ranked star.
He was good.
That was it.
Yeah. Okay. So David, pros and cons. Go ahead, Vicente.
Yeah. The only problem that I see in him is that the expertise he has. No, he has a lot of expertise, and maybe that could be a plus only for hire him in order to improve the program training that the company the Stephen where the Stephen is going to hire someone. Sorry, yeah, maybe it could be a benefit, but maybe it's the only pro that I see.
Okay. Yeah. So he comes with some things. Hillary, do you mind muting your microphone? Okay. Could anybody else hear that? There
I
was
wasn't
some
sure what that was,
background.
but now, yeah, it's gone.
Okay, we're good. So the Vicente, he had some pros. He's been in the industry for a long time. He knows what he's doing. He's definitely a star. Those are good pros. Anything else?
Also, they mentioned when the Stephen make a research by himself, the people tell him that his name is well recognized, no, in the business world. No, that's another pro. I think so. No, but I think maybe he could work better in the training program.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in the system they already have. Okay, good. Okay, anybody?
Yeah, I think I have a pro and a con. I think a con could be that, he is older, and after you get done training him in your specific ways and everything, he would only be quality, but for 3 to 5 years probably before he is finished. Wasn't he like 60 years old or something? I don't remember.
I don't think it ever said, but yeah, he was in his twilight years, and it said that people burn out between 45 and 50, but it never says how old he is.
Never says his age. But that's really the only con that I was able to think of. But the pro, I think, since he is well experienced and he's been doing this for many years, I think he would be a good asset for the Power Chip account or whatever it was. That was one of the main issues that the guy was worrying about during the hiring process, and doing it so quickly because they want to get someone in for the Power Chip company.
Yeah, that's a good point. That was his main motivator for hiring a star and not necessarily going with the junior analyst. Yeah, good point. Okay.
I was going to say that during the interview, Stephen said that he had the thought that he was being interviewed. And so I think that's actually a good thing from the interviewer's perspective, knowing that the person that you're considering hiring has actually done a lot of research and has questions for you and your company, what your standards are and what your goals are. I think that if I were in Steven's shoes, I would interpret that as being really impressive that this person has actually really looked into the position and the expectations and whatnot.
Yeah, he knows who you are. And it also said that he was such a nice guy that the waitress gave him added attention because he was very nice, cordial. Yeah. Yeah, good point. Hillary, anything?
My thing is, why hasn't he been with the company for more, like for a long time? Why, like, what, like, there's a reason he hasn't, and that can either benefit your company or it can actually, he can be the cancer of your company.
So I think you bring up an interesting point. It does say that he wants a guaranteed contract for 2 years. And it talked about how in the semiconductor business, it goes up, plateaus, and then falls off. And Steven estimates that they're in a plateau right now and it's going to drop. And David wants a 2-year guarantee at the current price. And so he did mention he wants to be paid what he's worth and he's ready for change, but it doesn't elaborate why or anything. Okay, good. Anything else on David? So Seth Horcum, let's talk about Seth next. He was the one that a different headhunter called, and he is labeled as a runner-up in our Institutional Investor magazine. Pros and cons.
Well, I think Seth is his career is rising, maybe, yeah, and he's up. He's to be ranking for the next year in the Investors magazine. No, yeah, and also I think it has the skills that the company needs in order to close the deal with PowerChip. That is the deal that they want to close. No. Also, because he has a lot of contacts in PowerChip, in the middle managers and also high managers. No, that could be a good asset for the company. Could be the star that they are looking for. I think that is only the pros that I saw, but the cons that I saw is that maybe his lack of expertise maybe could give some we could have some problems there, no, because he's rising. He's also is learning in that process too, no. Maybe that could be a problem in the future, but also something that some of the candidates ask, some of them ask, what was the environment of the company, no? And Stephen answered that the environment is teamwork and familiar, no, environment, and maybe that he could fix in that in that environment, but he's still learning. I think that could be a good asset. I think in my case, I will hire him. Yeah, but I'm not total sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Who's next? Follow up on what Vicente said? Any disagreements with what he said?
No. Was he the one that didn't like working together, working as a team? He liked working by himself? Or is that a different one?
No, I think that was Gerald.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Never mind. Yeah, I'm good.
I think the one thing with Seth was that I didn't like is he was a runner-up, and he was, I don't want to say up-and-comer because Sonia carried the up-and-comer title, but I don't see a big difference between Seth, Sonia, and Rena. They're all a bit of a gamble. They're not stars. Either you hire a star or you bring in your junior analyst. And so that was the trouble that I had with both Sonia and Seth was they're not stars. So why are we going to take a gamble? Why would we forfeit the culture of the company and what we've hired and show Rena that, hey, yeah, we're not going to take a gamble on you, but there's these other up and comers that we will. I think that would really hamper what they've kind of prided themselves with. But that was my only issue with Seth. The other thing is in the case in the second interview, somebody had mentioned that was Seth just a flash in the pan? Did he just happen to get this as a runner-up, and now he's just out there trying to find out what it's worth and where can I go? I'm a runner-up. I need to get as much money as I can. So
right.
that would be a con in Seth, I guess.
I agree.
It could happen the same with the last star they have it. No.
Yep.
Also, you compare him with Sonia. I think that Sonia could fix more in the environment company, but she has problems about scheduled jobs. No, that's the only con that she has in this moment. No, because she's mom, and this position needs to a lot of traveling and that kind of things. No.
Vicente, are you married, Vicente?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. So maybe don't mention that being a mom is a con.
Oh, okay. Well, I was in the question about time. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry about that, guys. That's what
Good
my
job.
intention.
No, I understand what you meant, and I think you're right. Yeah. Let's talk about Sonia. Any more comments about Sonia?
Well, wasn't she was from a smaller company, I think?
Yeah, the boutique firm. Yep.
Yeah, but she was like killing it in that with that company and in that field. So I think, I don't know. I think that she, with the resources that she was given and with the companies that she was chosen to go after, she did a great job. And she might have had the opportunity to pursue the power chips or the larger companies that bring more recognition. So maybe if she were given a shot, maybe she would do a good job, but I'm not sure if you would want to label her as a star and put her on your most important accounts right away. Maybe hire her and then build her up a little bit.
Right. Hillary, anything on Sonia? No? So a couple of more things that I was just going to mention. So Vicente talked about kids and mom and travel. That was the concern, travel. She wanted to know if she could work from home. That might be a hamper to the family atmosphere and mentoring the juniors. But a big pro is she would fit in really well with their mentoring program, team building. She asks the most questions concerning the culture of the company. And so those would be I think, Sonia's biggest pros. And then Chase, you mentioned she's an up-and-comer. Do you take a gamble on a small boutique who may not be able to keep up with their fast-paced atmosphere and take a gamble on her? And I think that's hard. But so we've discussed pros and cons. Who would you guys hire? Hillary said Rena. Do you stand by that, Rena?
Well, I think Rena has all the skill of the company. No, he knows how the company works. He knows the environment, and he's doing a good job in this moment. No, the only concern that maybe Stephen has is about how well he's going to continue that work. No, yeah, I think that is the only concern. For me, in my case, I will hire maybe Seth, maybe hire two people, Seth and the other person that was the person that has a lot of skills, a lot of expertise. What's his name?
David.
Yeah.
David Hughes.
David Hughes. David Hughes only for the program of the training program, yeah, only for that part, and said for be the semiconductor analyst, and leave to Rina like he's in the same
Junior.
level. Oh, junior, yeah.
I
That's
don't know.
my opinion.
I don't know if your budget can handle that many people.
That's only the problem, that we need to choose one.
Yeah, I actually I would think that that's a smart concept. I would just take out Seth. I would hire David as the main senior, and then keep Rena as the junior and train her for the 2-year contract. And then once the 2 years is up, cut him loose, and then hopefully she's ready to rock and roll.
Chase, you're heartless.
I'm sure he has a 401k built up. I'm sure he's ready to move to Florida.
You run a business. It's okay to be heartless. You have to do what's best for your company, not for the people, for your company.
No. You guys pull somebody in and fire them, and then tell me how it goes. So, all right, Hillary,
I kind of similar thoughts as Chase. I mean, I just think it'd be nice to take advantage of the last few years that David has in him, assuming that he's, like you're saying, he's kind of like towards the end. I think that if he was brought in and then had someone fresh brought in under him that was able to, I guess, learn and just accept mentorship from him, I think that could be a good investment in the long run.
Or he could be your cancer to your company and kill everything that you have had.
Should be that.
Your junior people who you're trying to bring up. I mean, there's a reason he is looking for a job, and he's, that age. Like, something's not adding up. I mean, I don't run a business, but just saying. So
I agree. You may have a hard time keeping Rena on if you don't give her the position. She may not stay, but
well, didn't they hire her? Didn't they promote her to be a senior?
So that's what. Did you understand it to be that she's going to become a senior regardless? She's just going to get a smaller division.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't understand it like that. I understood that, you're taking on this project and show us that you can do it until we find someone who can take it back over, and then we'll reevaluate you and see where you're at. But I feel like if she can take this on and she can do a good job and she's showing you that she can do it, why not give it to her? Like, it's a huge jump, and it could, like, you're taking a chance, but if you're interviewing and she's still showing you, like, hey, I'm still doing it, I'm doing a good job at what I'm doing, like yeah, she may have a couple questions that need to be answered, but on the other side, like, she's doing it, why go look somewhere else when you have someone in your own field?
So on page 9, it says he's talking to her. Steven says, if I do fill the position with one of these 4 candidates, you'll still get your own group to cover perhaps a segment of software. So I think she's still going to get a senior position, but not in the semiconductor, because then she says, I love this field and would hate to have to give it up. So I don't know. There's a lot to read into that. I chose Rena, and so my risk or consequence was not how to fix the culture by bringing somebody else in when you always taught this or that. And so it does say that after the group members have made a decision about who we would hire, we're supposed to look at the salary information. Can I share my screen with you guys?
You know how to do it? Do you want me to tell you quickly? Oh, you got it.
I think we're good. You guys see that?
Way to go, David. Nice.
Right. So after looking at this, go ahead and take a look at this. This is what it will cost if we decide to go with any of the candidates.
So David's not an option, is what you're saying.
I kind of feel like David is not, and he wants that price guarantee for 2 years, regardless of performance.
In terms of the budget, it's not a candidate.
Hey, Vicente, weren't you going to hire David and Seth
And Seth.
and Sonia?
And Rena.
And Rena, that's right, and Rena.
Yeah.
All right,
But
so after having looked at that salary information, thinking about it, are you going to change your mind?
Yeah, I don't think I'm hiring David after that. Yeah, that's a huge gap. I mean,
That's a big deal, right? Guaranteed
Yeah.
2 years. Holy cow. Chase?
Man, I'm not going to hire anyone.
it's a lot of money.
Gosh. Because
I think Steven can take the raise and just handle it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if it was me, I would have kept what's his face in the beginning. Just offer him more money. But whatever. I guess they don't really address that. And,
Well, his boss kind of yells at him for not doing that.
oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm
Well,
not making $5 million a year as his boss, so I'm not authorized to make that decision.
Right.
Well, I think in terms that if you want to save some money, yeah, maybe Rena is the best option. Also because, like you said, Adam, he knows all the environment of the company. He knows the work that the other person was doing. No. Also, he can work in team. He can work with the environment. He can work with the company that they want to close the deal. Yeah. And maybe if you want to hire Sonia, could be a good asset. No. Sonia has a lot of skills that maybe can be improved with in the reading says that he needs another platform. No. For maybe to rise up his career, no, her career. Sorry, no.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. So the two questions were, and we've kind of addressed them. Should Steven give Rena a permanent offer, or should he hire outside the company? And then should Steven have let Peter go? The one thing in that salary is I wish it would show us what Peter was making.
But Peter,
in a comparison.
yeah, I agree. Yeah.
So, I mean, it shows us what it'll cost the company to hire an outside hire, but it doesn't tell us, if they're paying Peter 1.5. I don't know. Because Peter wanted to make more money. That's why he left. But should Steven have talked with the recruiter to ask about Seth? I think that's a moral question of going around Craig, because the headhunters and recruiters make money, and he had signed a contract with Craig. I think that's all that is. Thoughts?
That makes sense.
Do you think he was wrong to do that?
Because it was another recruiter, a third party one that brought on Seth, right?
That she calls Anita Armstrong, no?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there anything wrong with using multiple headhunters?
I think it's like signing a contract with a realtor and then buying a house from a different one. You're under contract. Same thing.
It's like if you hire a company that just give you the service of the resources that you needed, no?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, he had his doubts about the headhunter to begin with. He wasn't sure if he should use him or not in the beginning, but then he decided that he didn't have enough time to do it properly.
Right. I don't think there was anything wrong with it. If he decided to hire Seth, he may need to figure out some way of paying Craig something. But I don't know if he ends up hiring Rena. Does he owe Craig anything?
I think that maybe
would-
that kind of deals or contracts that had the headhunters could have some disclosures about what happened if they don't contract their resources. No,
Okay.
a kind of penalization. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I have no idea.
I don't know. So, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say it could be like those TV lawyers, like accident lawyers. We only get paid unless we win.
Yeah.
So
So if you hire one of his guys,
if you hire one of his, then he's gonna get paid. If not, then too bad.
right, that could be the case.
Yeah, I agree with Chase.
Does the performance at one firm guarantee high performance at another?
No, not at all.
Did you guys read this one? The Harvard one?
Yeah.
The risky business of hiring stars. Did you read that?
Yes, I did. Yes.
So in here, it says, and this was one of my biggest reasons for hiring Rena, but I quoted right here. It says the star's luster fades. The star's performance falls sharply and still stays well below the achieved levels. Our data shows that 46% of research analysts did poorly the year after they left a company, and their performance plummeted by an average of about 20% and had not recovered in 5 years.
Holy cow.
So further, and that's like the first page of the study, and then at the back it says, if you must hire a star, it says only 3 out of 24 investment banks that they studied said that their integrated star analysts worked well in their organization. So says that the best fit for a star to come in is if it was a new field. If they didn't cover a field and they brought one in, that was the best, where they only fell 20%. Most of them were falling 45 to 37% below what their average was when they bring them into a new organization. So that was one of my biggest cases for hiring Rena.
Yeah.
Is Steven wanted a star? Why would he get an up-and-comer if he's got Rena? And the statistics on hiring a star were not very good. So just
We're not good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good facts.
Let me share one more thing. Our last, before the conclusion, was this.
Whoa.
Did you guys read this? It
I
was
think I did, yeah.
in the homework. He said that this was mandatory. You had to read this, but then risky business of hiring stars was not mandatory. It's funny. I found more helpful information in the risky business one. But discuss the types of human capital, refer to general human capital and transferability. So this document, it just talks about the differences. So up here you have these type of human capital is more portable than down here. So we talk about down here first. Company specific human capital is, someone that works in the deli in a grocery store is going to be very specific to going to another grocery store working in the deli department.
Right.
It's very specific. Relation human capital is managers' effectiveness stemming from established relationships with other team members or colleagues. And so moving team members or colleagues can help general managers achieve a higher level of that human capital. because they learn to associate with others. But if your relationship human capital is only within your close-knit group, it's not very strong or portable. Somebody else want to take one of these others? Industry human capital. I think it's similar to company.
Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't that like when they like know a specific field, like you're a carpenter or a electrician or you're an accountant or something like that?
Yeah, I think so. So you're in that field, and that's more portable than company specific, but it's you're still kind of pigeonholed into what you
Right.
Strategic human capital, Hillary or Spencer, do you want to take that?
I don't know. It's kind of hard for me to gather my thoughts on this one. But I think in strategic, it's kind of going on maybe about being able to manage in different things. Like maybe someone's able to manage somewhere at a firm that has a specific culture and what they're doing, and then just being able to transfer those skills to a different firm or whatnot. Maybe going from one industry to another. You're doing the same things, but just applied in different areas. And I think that may be challenging in some ways. Like, so it says that if your strategic skills as in cutting costs or driving growth, that's very specific, but I think it'd be very hard to have that type of position like in the healthcare industry and then try to transfer into a similar position in the software or high tech industry. Although it's very specific, I think it still needs to stay within whatever industry that your company or firm works in.
So I think you're right in a lot of ways that if it's strategic in what you do, it can move from different industries in that if you're good at cutting costs and improving performance, and it doesn't really matter what you do, whether you run a restaurant or if you want to, I don't know, fill in the bank, sell pharmaceuticals. You're good at managing numbers and managing growth and expense and stuff. And so this is a little more portable. So you take that with you from job to job or industry to industry. And then Hillary, do you want to take the general human capital?
I think for the general one, it's just kind of like you understand how it works and you're able to, the basis, and then you can just move up and how it goes like that. Like it's just like it's general, like we all have it.
Yeah. Okay. We might all have it, but we might not all be good at it. Right?
Yeah, but we're all able to learn and grow from it, as well as if you're especially if you're in a new job, you get the generals down, but you have questions. Sorry, our light just burnt out, and that's why it's super dark, and our power has been coming in and out. So sorry. But I think especially starting a new job, you get the generals down, but then as you grow, you're able to expand more. You can jump to relations and go from there.
Okay, good. I think you're right. All right. Anything else? I'll do a summary real quick, and you guys can add anything at the end. Does that sound all right?
Great.
Okay. So with our recruitment for a star, we agree that maybe going after a star isn't the best thing to do after reading The Risky Business of Hiring a Star. Stars tend to fade and their performance goes down. The most profitable for the company in the short haul would be RENA. And if you are going to take a gamble, Rena might still be your best option. If we tried Seth, or who's an up and comer, and or he's a runner up and Sonia's an up and comer, we would be making a gamble on them to improve and that they might turn into a star. But we've mentored Rena and we've spent time with her and we've kept her on. And why not make a gamble with her and not jeopardize the culture of our company and keep the family-oriented feeling and not scare off other junior analysts? Any comments, additions to that?
I would agree.
I agree with that. Yeah, I think the best option is Rena.
Okay. I think that's it. With that, I think we'll end the recording.